These are 5 actionable tips that you can use today and start growing your Instagram channel. So here's a context. I grew my channel from around 800 followers, mainly comprised of friends and family, to 187,000 followers today in 2 years. I'm not a social media expert. I did not set off trying to figure out how to get the most viral videos out there. This just happened to me, and in the process I've learned quite a few things, and I thought, let me share that in case you guys also want to grow your Instagram channel. You can use this framework, and hopefully that will help you grow. Main point of this framework is to cast a net. If you use an analogy of fishing, we're basically casting a net first to validate what format works for your topic. So step 1 is forget niches. Everybody talks about, oh, it's important to find your niche. Forget niche. Try to find your passion. And the difference here is when you try to find a niche, you're kind of looking outward. You're looking at cars. Maybe that can be a niche. Oh, maybe it is skateboarding. That's a niche. And maybe I can make content about those things. Forget that. What you need is to look inwards. So in my case, I had moved to the US. I was born and raised in India. Naturally, there's a difference in culture between India and the US. And there are a lot of funny instances that I came across in my daily life that I thought maybe if you compare and contrast these two things, you can maybe make skits and it'll be funny. I started making reels about that, and that connected with people, right? So I looked inwards rather than being like, maybe I can make videos in a niche about Indians in the US. Maybe that's cool. Don't do that. So let's say your niche is not niche. Let's say your passion is gardening. You love gardening. You've always done it. You're like, maybe that's something that we can do. Let's pick that, gardening. Number 2, we need content ideas. And here I'm talking about content ideas for reels. Anywhere from 15 to 45-second reels is what we're gonna make. Remember, you are the expert in this topic that you chose because you're the one who picked it and you're the one who has done this. So for example, for gardening, you've learned how to garden, things about gardening. All you need to do is you need to sit down and you need to list minimum 15 to 30 ideas of potential topics that you can convert into reels. So something like for gardening, things you must know before you make your first compost bin. I don't know anything about gardening, so I'm just write down 15 to 30 content ideas, because that will help us in step 3, which is recording. Now, the way I used to record is I used to record basically every night, and I used to post the next morning. And that kind of gets a little tricky, especially when you have a busy schedule. What I've started doing now is batch recording. The weekend, take your content ideas, you're like, I'm going to record 5 of them, and I will schedule this out the next week. That works for me. Both have actually worked for me. So you take whichever works for you, you take that call and go ahead and record your content ideas. Step 4, schedule your posts. Now, if you have 30 posts or 30 recorded videos, you want to schedule 1 per day for the next month. If you have 15, you want to do 1 every other day, right? So that's why I said 15 to 30. You need that. In this period, I would prefer if you did 30 ideas, 30 reels over the month, because as I said, we're casting a net, and all we're doing right now is to find a content format that works for you. So we need as much data as we can get. 15 works, I would recommend 30. So you schedule it every day or every other day for the next month. And the final 5th point, which is the most important point here, is to monitor analytics. Your analytics is everything, right? It tells you how well your reel is performing and how well it's being received by your potential future target audience. Couple of things that I personally look at: views or reach. That's a good indicator of whether the algorithm's actually pushing out your content or not. I have had reels that I thought were gonna do really well, and they ended up getting 3,000 to 5,000 views. And there are reels that have gone up to 17 million views. Clearly, the algorithm prefers one thing over the other. And shares and comments, that I think that's the more important one, because that actually tells you what type of content is actually emotionally affecting the people watching it, right? Let's say you posted 30 reels. Once you get your analytics for everyone, you will know which ones has performed well. There, you're gonna find a subset that's outperformed the rest, and you want to kind of focus on that subset. Once you do that, that content format now is your validated content format. Not even format, it's the format, it's the topic. It can be anything in this video that the algorithm really likes and the algorithm likes pushing. So then once you get that, you need to analyze that subset and create 30 more ideas in that format. And let's say an example in this gardening example that we've taken is, let's say one of the outliers is things every amateur gardener says, I don't know. And you're like, okay, it's done 20,000, 25,000 views. It's got quite a few comments. It's got a decent amount of likes, decent amount of shares. Now, you can make a hypothesis that amateur gardeners found that reel. They had an emotional response to it. And they're either sharing that with their other amateur gardener friends, themselves are commenting on it and liking it. So what you want to do is take amateur gardener as a target audience and make more content for them. Make 30, schedule them out again. And then slowly, as you keep doing these 5 steps over and over again and iterating, you will naturally find a niche that you fit in. Once you do that, that's when you can reliably make content, and you're going to get views, and you're going to get shares, and your Instagram profile is going to grow. You're making content for a very hyper targeted group of people, and they're responding to your content. That's what I did for 2 years. For me, it was Indians in the US who either are coming here to study, working, but also Indians who are thinking about coming to the US or going abroad to study, who are in India. I've had pretty good success doing this. That's it. Hope you guys liked it. Let me know if this works for you.